Here we are back for our final installment of the Kabaya-Leaf series, and we'll start off, since we have a lot of cards to cover, by showing one we missed. And we did show him when we were talking about the Black Mist, Takao Katsuragi. Come on. Anyways, he had been involved with that, received a suspension, but here he is, number 67 for the Dragons. He had been a long-time star player. I mean, he was really good. 276 lifetime. He had some power, 142 home runs. Outfielder, formerly with the Orions, and he'd come to the Dragons. So I'd missed number 67. I'd put him back in the pile of Black Mist guys. So there we go. That's Katsuragi. And now we go to the Pacific League. We go to the Nankai Hawks with their Hall of Fame manager, Kazuto Tsuruoka. Tsuruoka is originally Kazuto Yamamoto. He was a star third baseman, MVP, and then became a Hall of Fame manager, all with the Hawks. And that's his playing record, which was interrupted by World War II, but his managerial record was incredible. This is toward the end of his run. Next, Masanori Murakami, the first Japanese player in the major leagues. Of course, he's in the 1965 top set on the Giants rookie card. And he returned to the Hawks in 1966. Played up through 1982. Taisuke Watanabe, Hawks pitcher. Number 303. I didn't show the back of Murakami. For anybody who wants to take screenshots, 302. But you see on there, he had actually come up with the Hawks in 1963. Through a couple innings or so. Tadashi Sugiura, number 304. Another guy, a victim of having his arm blown out by overuse. But this guy, in 1959, went 38-4 for the Hawks. 38-4. Yeah. Hall of Famer. He was 174-87 at this point. Won 27 games as a rookie the year before. Then he followed up by going 31-11, then 20-9, and then his innings began to drop. Why? Well, overwork, overuse, typical Japanese problem at the time period. The great Sugiura. Mutsuo Minagawa, last Japanese player to win 30 games. Side armor, number 305. I said that, but I don't think that's right. Nah, scratch that. I think I've got somebody else in my head. Let's forget that. Minagawa is a longtime pitcher, but as you can see, his stats are anyways. I'm looking. There's no 30 win season. I would have to check that. Unless he did it after this, and I really don't think so. I think it was Sugiura. But I would have to check that out, so don't quote me on that. Toshihiko Hayashi, Hawks pitcher, number 306. Akitada Niiyama, another Hawks pitcher, 307. Kiyohiro Miura, the one who received a stern warning for not reporting what he knew. 308. Pitcher Eizo Goda. Number 309. Next we have the most underrated and underappreciated player in Japanese baseball, Katsuya Nomura. The great Hall of Fame catcher, Triple Crown winner. 657 home runs, always as a catcher. Catcher from 1953 to 1980, didn't change positions. Here is Nomura as the catcher of the Hawks. Of course, he also had a great career as a manager. Here's Hawks shortstop Kenji Koike. Number 311. 312, American first baseman Kent Hadley, formerly of the Yankees and the Athletics. There he is, number 312. 313, Yasunori Kunisada, second baseman. Narayasu Morishita, coach and third base. Morishita also would manage in Taiwan. When their league started up, he managed, I believe, the Brother Elephants. So he had been a long time player since 1952 there with the Hawks. Outfielder Shozo Higuchi, number 315. Outfielder Yoshio Anabuki, he'd been a big college star. 316. Motowaki Horigome, outfielder. Number 317. Star outfielder Yoshinori Hirose, great base stealer. Played a long time, later managed the Hawks briefly. And Kohei Sugiyama was still playing up to 1966, but now had switched to coaching. Had been the Hawks' third baseman. And now we'll switch to the Nishitetsu Lions. Now, the Lions were the hardest hit by the Black Mist scandal, and it actually led to Nishitetsu Company selling the Lions. They're now the Seibu Lions, but they were also the Taiheiyo Club Lions. Then they were the Crown Lighter Lions. Then the Seibu Company bought them. We'll start off with Hall of Fame manager, third baseman, and big slugger Futoshi Nakanishi. He was still active, but mostly pinch hitting at this point. He had played, 51 games and 51 at-bats the year before, so he's pinch hitting. Akira Ogi, who we already saw, number 352. He was also converting to a coach at this point. Coach and infielder, right there. Ike Naga, the star pitcher who was banned, number 353. He'd won 20 games as a rookie in 1965. Pitcher Tadao Wako, his brother Tomo on the Tigers, both in the set. See, he was a veteran, 93 and 83 lifetime. Yoda, banned for life, number 355. But the greatest Lion pitchers ever, there he is. Kazuhisa Inao, again, like Sugiura, like Gondo, his arm was wrecked through overuse. He had won 42 games, 1961. He was 42 and 14. Lifetime at this point, 258 and 110. But his arm was shot. 1.88 lifetime, just one of the greatest pitchers ever. But time was cut short due to injury. The great Inao later managed the Lions. Just an incredible pitcher. Next we have Tsutomu Tanaka. He of the perfect game and the lifetime ban. There he is, number 357. 358, Toshihiko Sei. It's nice to see somebody who wasn't banned. And we have veteran catcher Yasuhiko Kawai. Old school guy. You know, he's a defensive catcher, not much of a hitter. 212 lifetime. Number 360, American Tony Roig, former Washington Senators player. Did very well with the Lions in Japan. He was never printed by Topps. Should have been. He had hit, 21, 17, 22, and 22 home runs in 4 years in Japan. Another American who did very well with the Lions, Jim Bomber. It's on a 1961 Topps card with the Reds. Actually broke in with the White Sox in 1949. Here he is with the Lions. He had 74 home runs in 4 years and a .260 average. Second baseman, Kazuhide Funada. He was one of the ones suspended temporarily, but he did come back, and by the late 70s he was playing very well for the Yakult Swallows. Number 362. 363, outfielder Kojiro Ito. Yes, the Japanese were the first ones to create the hollowed out end of the bat fad, which many players used. I know Lou Brock did that. Number 363. Next, outfielder Koji Nishiwaki. 364. And outfielder, former catcher Hiromi Wada. He's going to be appearing in an upcoming video. He did something only one other guy in history has done. I'll leave it at that. Longtime player with the Lions, number 365. 366, outfielder Yoji Tamazukuri. He'd been around a while. And the Lions conclude with outfielder Mamoru Miyoshi. Number 367. So we'll go to our final team, the Toei Flyers. Now the Nippon Ham Fighters. Started off with Hall of Fame manager Shigeru Mizuhara. He had also managed the Giants to great success in the 50s. And he managed the Flyers to their 1962, or is it 64? 62 Japan Series title. Another Hall of Famer, played in the 30s. Pitcher Yukio Ozaki. For 402. He'd already been a 4-time 20-game winner at this point. Their other solid starting pitcher, Masayuki Dobashi. He would end up managing the team in 1992. Here's Dobashi at number 403. 404, the band Toshiaki Moriyasu, one of the Black Mist participants. The name comes from a Japanese political scandal where somebody commented that there's so much corruption in government, it's like a black mist. Well, the name stuck, so when the baseball scandal happened, they used the same name. That's the reference. So he had been a rookie in 66. Next, catcher Masayuki Tanemo. And he had won the, I believe, the Japan Series MVP in 1962 when the Flyers beat the Hanshin Tigers. Sorry for the glare. Trying to position him. Infielder Koichi Iwashita. Number 406. Why there's only 10 Flyers, who knows? Why a lot of things about this set, it's just who knows. Second baseman Shuzo Aono. Number 407. Korean In-chun Bak, known in Japan as Jin-ten Hak. Played 20 years, then he was one of the founding players when the KBO, the Korean Baseball Organization, started. In fact, he hit over 400, still the record for Korea. He had started out as a catcher for the Flyers, became an outfielder. Played in Japan up through the year 80-81, and then when Korea started, he went there. He was one of the few Korean players not to use a Japanese name. As you can see, that's how he spells it when he writes his autograph, In-chun Bak. I've seen it P-A-I-K, it's the same name. It's hard to anglicized Korean. One of the greatest players of all time, number 409, Isao Harimoto, 500 home runs, 3,000 hits. The only player to have 3,000 hits in Japanese baseball. Since Ichiro got, 3,000 here and X amount in Japan, but He had 3,000 in Japan, also with the 500 home runs. Harimoto, one of the greatest of all time. Number 409. He's actually Korean as well. We featured him on a previous video, I think my first video. And finally, number 410, Shoichi Busujima, all-star outfielder for the Flyers. And there it is, number 410. So that completes an overview of the Kabaya-Leaf set. If you have any questions or comments, put them down below. We'd love to hear from you. And we look forward to talking to you next time. Thanks again. Bye.